All right, part 6 of our 7-part series of selling your home on your own. That is really stuck. Okay.
We haven't titled the video. Maybe we should do that.
Yeah, maybe we should. Yeah. Okay. An offer has come in. Now what? Okay, so you have 3 options here. You can accept it, you can counter it, you can reject it.
The most important thing is respond in some way. Even if you feel like it's a little bit low, don't be mad at the people who are writing the offers. Be mad at the people who are not writing the offers.
Right. So be polite when you're responding. You might end up working out a deal with these people and you don't want them to think of you otherwise.
I mean, they're not offering you $1 on a $500,000 house. Yeah. Remember, this is a meaningful purchase that they're making. And you might be accepting their offer at a different time. Yeah.
So there's one little caveat that I always like to tell our sellers, and it's rare that this happens, but it is a law. So if you're listing your home for $500,000, okay, and someone comes to the table and writes you an offer for $500,000 with no contingencies, they're giving you cash. They've waived inspection, they've waived appraisal, they've waived everything. You legally have to accept that offer.
But that doesn't actually
ever happen. Because someone always has some sort of contingency.
There's always some protection. So let's go back through again. So you can accept they're like, hey, here's $500,000 cash. We'll get it to you tomorrow. Get the heck out. Like, that might be perfect for you. A counteroffer is what's most likely going to happen.
Yes.
Right? So again, you will probably need your real estate attorney. We've said that a million times. Get a real estate attorney. I don't even, we work with a couple here in Washington. Pricing varies. Molly and I were just talking about this off camera. Pricing always varies. So, find somebody that you trust. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. Get a real estate attorney. But countering the offer is going to be, and you can counter anything. Obviously, what you're probably thinking is price.
Yeah.
Counting a price is probably one of the most important things. But as you've seen in our other videos, tongue twister, is you may be countering the inspection, how long the inspection is. You may be countering something on the financing contingency. You may be countering
closing date.
A closing date. You may be saying, again, like we talked about, you may want to stay in your house for a little bit, so you need to counter offer and ask for a rent back. But just know, when you counter an offer, right, it's like, hey,
I want to offer you $500,000 for your house, and you come back and say, no, I want you to pay $550,000.
Yeah. So you can't, once you counter the offer, there's going to be markups and, red lines all through the offer. You can't just go back and say, oh, sorry, I messed up. I want that old offer. If they're okay with it, you can do that. But once you make changes to the offer and cross out anything, that original offer is dead in the water.
Yep.
Why dead in the water?
I don't know. And your new offer is the existing offer. And nothing is official or set in stone until paperwork has been signed, submitted, all of that. Everyone's been notified that it's been signed. So just because you send in a counter offer doesn't mean it's valid.
Yeah. So, and again, remember, be courteous. So even if you want to reject the offer and you're like, hey, we listed it for $500,000 and they only offered $425,000, at least call them. Even if you're not going to put something in writing, just call them. If they have an agent, call their agent and just say, hey, we appreciate the offer, but we're going to, either you're not close on price or close on the other terms. Be polite and gracious that you got an offer.
So let's say you've countered wherever you are, you finally accepted an offer. So a few things that you have to do: make sure you hop onto the MLS or Zillow, wherever you have your home listed, and you change that listing to pending.
Yeah, and so again, that's a pending terminology. That's a real estate word. It just means the offer, you've accepted the offer and you're going through all the other phases of financing and that type of thing. You may, if they have an inspection protection contingency, you can actually change it to pending inspection, which you should do, but just change it so you're not getting, I'm sure you're going to be getting hundreds of calls a day because you have your house on the market. Yeah. Or if maybe it's a couple, you just want to make sure everybody knows so they're not bugging you and you're not having to return calls and let people know it's off. The longest piece of it is what they call the underwriting process at the bank. So that's when the bank's collecting the buyers, your buyer's W-2, checking their job status, all that kind of stuff. So that could take, some lenders can do it in 2 weeks, some do it in 3 weeks. Big banks typically take a little bit, like Wells Fargo might take a little bit longer, but make sure you're staying in contact. Again, call the lender and get a real estate attorney.
Okay.
So right now, the lender doesn't have direct contact with the appraiser, and it kind of goes through a third party, but they will know what's going on. Appraisals, you know, if you get an offer, you might be like, just send it out to the appraiser tomorrow. It usually takes about a week, could take a little bit longer if people are busy.
For them to come out.
To come out and get the report back.
Yeah.
So just because they came out doesn't mean it's done. So usually an appraiser has, and it's not just like their house is worth $501,000. Usually they have time to put together the report to let the bank know the value of the house.
Okay, so you are not the one scheduling the appraiser. The bank is doing that for you. They'll obviously coordinate with you on a time to get into your house and look around. How long does the appraisal take?
It's, you know, some banks are doing what they call drive-by appraisals, where like an appraiser is just going to drive by saying, wow, that looks great. More than likely, they'll come in your house, and they're usually there for about a half hour.
Okay.
It doesn't take very long.
And then after all of that has gone through, financing is looking good. Many times, home buyers would like to do a final walkthrough of your house. They want to make sure, as you're packing and moving and getting stuff ready to go, that your house is in the exact same condition it was when they came through before they placed their offer.
Right. So your house. So if you've nicked up walls when you were moving, or your refrigerator broke from the time they made their offer, you do need to repair those things.
They're going to want you to repair it.
You don't want to be in any legal battle because your house needs to be in the same condition as when they made their offer.
Yep. So they may kind of want to come look at the house. Also, like I just have a seller who's going through this now. Someone wanted to come in and take measurements for new furniture and for blinds. Like, they're buying your home from you. Being friendly and flexible with that kind of stuff is always helpful, because that's something you would want if you're buying a house.
Yeah, absolutely.